As thank you for the intro. I don't know where she's gone now, but thank you very much for the nice words. I'm truly excited to be here with you in Delhi. Um, it's a fantastic journey that I'm going to share with you today on Nescafe. Nescafe is the biggest coffee brand in the world, and I just going to talk a lot about coffee today. So, quick question for you, maybe: who had a Nescafe this morning? Okay, so it looks like we have a little bit of a job to do um, in a tea country. But please, the one that had a Nescafe, please tweet to me, and I'll make sure you get a red mug, so you become even more of a brand ambassador. So thank you very much for your trust in Nescafe, and please advocate that this is the best coffee, and everyone should drink coffee in India. So it's quite interesting to see that since I just started to talk, that amount of Nescafe cups has been drunk in the world. So Nescafe, as the biggest coffee brand in the world, is actually selling 5,500 cups a second. And that means a lot to us. That means a lot of people beyond coffee. And that means a lot of potential connections, conversations, relationship with people. And that's what I'm going to go through today, how we've actually created real connection in a digital world. So real in a virtual world. So that's really the challenge. So looking back, we've been existing since 78 years, and we've been starting real human connection since then. The challenge on the journey I'm going to tell you today is how do we do that in the digital world, because the world has changed a lot, and I think this conference is all about that change. But as well, people have changed a lot, and it's a little bit of a sad picture, but it shows the amount of changes that we've been through. And also, from a technology standpoint, a lot of things have changed and enabled a lot of possibilities as well. It has broke a lot of barriers. From a geographical standpoint, there's no limitations now in traveling. From a cultural standpoint, a lot of sharing also as well. And breaking also the silos between generations. And this is really exciting for a brand builder. It has allowed also us to maximize the participation of people into our day-to-day business. And that participation is allowing us to do amazing things, and you will see some examples today of how we co-create, how we embark, how we enable everyone to participate in that fantastic journey towards creating real connections. So we went on a mission, given all that, and putting digital within the DNA of the brand in the past couple of years. And that mission was how to bring Nescafe to the connected age. To actually recruit and on that brand that is 78 years old, get the next generations of coffee lovers for the 78 years to come and even more. So how did we reach for the stars? I'm going to tell you that journey. We started and put digital at the center of the brand DNA a couple of years back. The first thing that we did is really focus on people and created a community of people, both internally within Nestlé and the Nescafé team, and also externally with everyone who's loving coffee and who's loving Nescafé. The second thing that we've done is we went and pushed beyond the pure product marketing into systems, but also into services, as we believe that utility is also very important in people's life, and therefore, as a brand, we have a role to play beyond the usual product development, which we're very good at. Last year we pushed a lot on commerce, and this year we're going after personalization to establish those real connections on a one-to-one basis. So how did we do that? And I think this is maybe a little bit of what you're looking for, is what was behind that push and how we did it. 3 dimensions, which I'm going to detail now. We started with people. Then we put a lot of efforts behind innovation and in a wide definition of innovation, and also behind storytelling. And this, in this country, I think is very, very contextually right. So let's start first with what we did with people. People and infrastructure, again, putting them first. So as I said, the first step was to go after an active community. So in a very decentralized organization like Nestlé, we created a very strong, integrated, and aligned community of people with 25 lead markets behind the same goal, behind the same global digital strategy, sharing a lot of assets, structure, content, processes, and tools in order to scale it and go very fast. We have also very innovative ways of meeting, discussing, sharing. We have our own internal social network in Nestlé based on Chatter, powered by Salesforce. This is a very active community of people sharing on a constant basis all the best practices and different things from a Nescafé perspective. We created webcasts across the globe. It's gathering hundreds of marketers across the globe as well. And we obviously met together regularly. The other thing that we've done is we've harmonized the way to look at performance on digital. So we shared also a global KPI framework in terms of measuring efficiency and effectiveness on digital to really prove that everything that we were doing is working, and a way to compare it in a very kind of integrated and aligned way. We're currently live now in 10 markets, and we'll be live in 15 markets by the end of this year. And that's massive because, you know, in digital, there's so many KPIs, so many things that you can track. So if you do it in a very organized way with the scale that we have with 25 markets, you can really draw the learnings and really push the needle very fast. The other thing that we've done related to that is integration. Digital or internet as a start is a network, so it's a grid. So everyone that's working on digital is used to collaborate because you can't do without it. And it was a key point in breaking silos within Nestlé, breaking silos with our partners to integrate the different partners, whether it's a communication agency, creative agency, technology partners, but also media owners. And I have to recognize our strategic partner, Ogilvy, for leading the charge in this and helping us. So thank you very much to Ogilvy for helping us leading in that journey. So as a summary from a people standpoint and infrastructure standpoint, a very active community of people, a strong integration model, and a data-driven marketing engine. That's for the first dimension. Moving on to content, moving on to storytelling, which is the second, you know, really key ingredient in our journey towards integration and digital marketing. We moved away from having a TV-first approach. When I joined on this role a couple of years back, we were spending less than 5% of our total media on digital. Last year, we went over 20%. And we're still, you know, growing. So this is a massive movement towards digital, and within digital, mobile first. That picture is not there for, you know, by accident. I mean, your mobile, as you know, specifically in India, is always close to you, less than 1 meter away, even in some crazy places. And coffee is never too far as well. So that's a strong insight for us. It's really, it goes hand in hand, and mobile is always at the center, if not always the first thing we look into. Another thing, key important thing that we looked when we talk about storytelling is owned. What is it that we own? If we really want to have those real conversations, those real connections, you need to be in a space that you really master, where you have a conversation, where you are in charge, where you are really managing and being there for people. So we reversed the POE model and putting into OEP. So moving from TV to digital, moving from TV to mobile first, and focusing on what we call OEP, which is putting own at the center of our strategy, looking whether this is resonating with people in earned, and then applying media on it to make it bigger, to amplify a message. So that's one of the guiding principles that we have. Another key one is related to the fact that every day brings the new news, if not a dozen of new news, in the digital space. So if you're actually spending or committing your entire budget at the beginning of the year towards your plan, it's very difficult to be agile and to pilot or test new ideas. So we're really pushing everyone within Nescafé to allocate their budget wisely and to keep at least 10% or something similar towards testing, innovating, pioneering new things. And this is really within the DNA of the brand on Nescafé. We've been the first coffee on the moon. We've been the first coffee on Mount Everest. We've been doing a lot of firsts, so we are willing to continue even in the marketing space. So these were some guiding principles. In terms of assets, a couple of things that we've done. We've created a global content factory, which is shared, which is industrialized across 60 markets within the Nescafé community, and created more than 500 assets, all being used, represented about 20% of everything that markets are really posting locally. And this shared library of assets is invaluable to market and to our system, to fuel a system in a very demanding content need. You know, it's just as we're entering live conversations and real-time conversations, we need more and more content. So that model helped us to deliver on that. But we went beyond than just a few tweets or selfies with very rich and engaging storytelling. And this is where I would like to share a few examples, and actually three, and one is coming from media. And we really went beyond with some real experiences that goes beyond, as I said, a couple of tweets or a couple of selfies. These are different examples that I'm showing here from different markets across the world. There's many more, but I wanted to share with you a couple of them today, starting with the first one, which is from Italy. This specific case is called Hello Experiment, and I think it's really a good example of what do we mean with starting real connections on Nescafé.
Le persone si sentono minacciate da chi non conoscono e questo può generare anche diffidenza. Ci sono però 1000 condizioni tutti i giorni in cui possiamo sfruttare dei piccoli gesti, delle piccole situazioni, l'ordinarietà per interagire con gli altri.
Ciao. Stai studiando?
Ciao. Ciao.
Ciao.
The case, and you'll see by yourself what we've done on this. It's just a few words about the performance. It's been in the market for just a couple of months. There's more than 5 million views already on the video content related to that. There's more than 20,000 registered people within the program, and that's not even today's numbers. So I'm playing it safe and looking at the team. But this is a fantastic project and huge resonance within the market, and definitely inspiring a lot of countries across the world. So I'll leave you to have a look at the video.
For building the next generation of coffee lovers, Nescafé partnered with MTV to create MTV Presents Nescafé Labs.
And leveraging that universal insight with huge impact, more than 30 million views across the globe, won several recognition across the world as well. So I'll leave you to experience Arnaud, who's the main character and who's the main kind of matchmaker between people and linking to his Facebook friends and discovering they actually are really friends.
Je regarde par la fenêtre et je vois un type avec 2 tasses de café dans la main.
Qui je vois arriver? Arnaud.
C'est pas possible!
Il s'est assis, il m'a dit bon, on va boire un café.
Ça m'a fait retomber 25-30 ans en arrière.
Romeo, Juliet, balcony silhouette, making oaks with a cigarette. It's Juliet.
Je l'avais demandé en ami, et depuis, on n'avait jamais échangé.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Nous sommes amis Facebook, tous les deux. Mais je vous connais pas. D'ailleurs, vous aussi, vous me connaissez pas.
On s'entendait très très bien quand on était gamin. Et puis après, forcément, la vie veut que les chemins se séparent un peu.
Ah non, j'y crois pas.
Tu me reconnais tout de suite, toi.
Putain, malgré ces années, tu vois.
Moi, ça fait 3 ans que je suis partie en Suède et je trouvais ça génial qu'ils viennent juste boire un café avec moi.
Quand il est arrivé, qu'on s'est revus, oui, là, on s'est redécouvert, on s'est reposé des questions qu'on se serait jamais posées sur Facebook.
Et on s'est bien marré parce qu'il avait peur de marcher sur la glace et c'était génial d'avoir fait ça avec lui.
Ça vaut tout l'or du monde.
Je trouve que chacun de nous devrait faire ça au moins une fois dans sa vie.
Oh, not again. Okay.
Aujourd'hui, bah oui. Attends, ah c'est bon.
What's really interesting to see on that case is how then people and consumers took that idea and really transposed it in their daily life and meet other people, do their own user-generated content and really continue the story of that campaign beyond the campaign. So moving on, the other key element behind those cases and behind overall brand publishing is to create, an ecosystem that really resonates. And I was talking earlier on about owned. And really, one of the key examples of what we mean by putting owned at the center was the relaunch of Nescafe.com. A couple of months back, we were at Social Media Week in London relaunching Nescafe.com on Tumblr. And what I mean with our partnership with Tumblr is not opening a Tumblr page. It means that all Nescafe websites globally moved in Tumblr and really leveraging this fantastic social platform as a way to be socially connected, to be mobile ready, to be e-commerce ready, to have a platform that is really agile and integrated into our overall ecosystem. And we were the first brand, the first and biggest global brand to operate that shift. We've seen, as I was saying, a lot of benefits in doing this. We're currently rolling out in numerous numbers of markets across the globe through that platform with a lot of benefits, as I was saying, as we needed definitely to relaunch the website. So we're now rolling out in dozens of countries across the globe. What's very interesting to see in that rollout is where Tumblr, with its lightness and agility and all the benefits it's bringing in terms of speed, in terms of cost avoidance, cost savings, and all the effectiveness it brings in terms of social and accessibility, is that it has allowed a lot of markets that didn't have a website to have a dedicated branded website and to increase brand building, to increase the brand presence, to increase the conversation starter, and to be the place where you have coffee-related conversations online. So of course it's complementary to all the other platforms and all the other presence that we have online, but it's a kind of a central repository of everything that we say. And if you want to have, you know, a kind of a summary of the voice of Nescafé, this is where everything is aggregated, on top of what the brand says, also what consumers and people say. So in terms of impact from a storytelling standpoint, we've seen huge impact. I mean, there's a number that is not shown on that slide, which is our number of fans globally on Facebook. I mean, a couple of years back, we only have 2 million fans. As we speak now, we have 14 million fans on Facebook. So it's been really a step change in how the brand is playing in the A-League of global iconic beverage brand, getting now in the top ones, as it should be. So from a media branded content perspective, focusing on owned, getting a content factory in place so that we industrialize good content and we maximize the scale and impact and leverage on our partnership with key partners like Tumblr. The last dimension I wanted to talk about in our journey towards creating real connections in a digital world is innovation. On that front, we push the boundaries of innovation beyond, as I was saying, products, towards system, towards services. A couple of examples here, which I'm not going to play for the sake of time, but there's different examples. The ones that are playing in the top right is an app which is meant to wake people up in the morning.
Stop the wake-up torture.
So I'll leave you to...
So Nescafé wants every morning to be a good morning. And this is how we do it.
Hey honey, I'm sitting here waiting for you.
You wake up. Emoticons was a key program we use for a personalized keyboard in France. And this is a PR stunt coming from Mexico. So there's many more examples of that, but we're leveraging innovation to go beyond, again, the product development. And we do that with, obviously, all our means within Nestlé and fabulous people within R&D who's been there, you know, for a long time. And Nestlé is really recognized in bringing fantastic product innovation in the market. But we also open innovation beyond and work with startups and key people to actually challenge us and go a little bit beyond. So this is also an invitation for anyone in the room who has idea in how to hack coffee to come to us and bring ideas and work with us. We're very, very open to collaborate with startups and technology in particular. So we've done that. We are every year at CES, Consumer Electronics Show, to meet with startups, which is the biggest gathering of startups in the world every year. We started a program called Nescafé Startup 2 years back with partnering with startups. We have in our own organization within Nestlé very active groups of people in the digital acceleration team, and Sanjit here in the room is leading the charge here in Nestlé India. We have our Silicon Valley Innovation Outpost, which are people sitting in Silicon Valley, colleagues of Nestlé, really matchmaking the different brands with the different startups. So we're really active in that community and really leading the charge and innovating through those teams. So from an innovation standpoint, we also challenged our key partners and big media owners such as Facebook, Google, Twitter, and so on to participate not only in our media buying or presence in different platforms, but really created joint ventures with us and call it joint adventures. I want to share two examples of what I mean with that. The first one is from Google. Last year for International Coffee Day, we launched a Google Cardboard partnership with Google. How do you bridge the distance between you, coffee lovers, and there will be more and more, I hope, in the near future, and the farm and the people who are actually producing coffee? Well, this partnership helped us in doing this because within seconds, you put on the Google Cardboard and you transport it in the middle of coffee fields. This was done in Brazil, we've now done it in Colombia, and we're looking into versioning this. And it's a fantastic way to show that Nescafé is real coffee, it's done by real people, it's a natural product, it's 100% coffee, and it's a fantastic experience which you can show to consumers and really transport them into the reality of what we mean and how we love coffee. So that was a very effective way of bringing that message across. in a kind of a long storytelling, because you've got more time. People have never really experienced virtual reality, and that's a way to tell a long story in a very effective way and drive a lot of traffic to us. More than 13 markets have been participating in that with great impact in various shapes and forms. The other example I would like to share is what we've done with Facebook, also in the sphere of virtual reality, or at least 360 videos. Nescafé was one of the 6 brands to launch within the newsfeed of Facebook 360 videos last year. And we were the only brand outside the US to provide that experience. So basically, if you wanted to see a 360 video within the Facebook newsfeed, and if you were not sitting in the US, you would have seen the Nescafé video. So I'll let you experience this. Great impact. This was a bespoke creative, co-created with Facebook with huge impact. This is very engaging. You're allowed to go up and dance if you want. The music is pretty cool. So bring the sound on. Good Morning World has a fantastic impact, waking up everyone in the morning through that 360 video. It was the first, and we were one of the first brands to do so. And bringing 360 within the newsfeed of Facebook was, clearly magical for a lot of people. And I know that Mark Zuckerberg, and back in Barcelona a couple of weeks back, showed the results and the impact that 360 videos had on Facebook, and millions of views already. And it's a very immersive format that allows us to really make a difference from a storytelling standpoint. So still in innovation format, and to try and wrap up, we're linking also this obviously to commerce, and we're enabling most of our communication to have call to actions towards e-commerce also as well, be it ratings and reviews of our product, which people love and publicly claim, also adding buy now buttons in a lot of our touch points. And one of the key things to also impact the offline world with everything that we do in digital is to elevate our presence in the quality of our products, description and experiences online. So we've been working a lot in the description of our products and really romancing the description and the benefits that we bring to our product, but also bringing some new technology to it. So Nescafé has been developing last year across its 7 SKUs, across 7,000 SKUs across the world, everything in CGI, so that now, if you want to impact very quickly, you can actually, in the market, leverage everything in CGI, apply your local artwork, and really bring this to life in a fantastic way, because then when it's in CGI, you can animate it, you can dive into it, you can do all sorts of things and angle, really showing how great our products are. So all of that for us from an innovation standpoint was really also effective. So to summarize, this third dimension which we bring on that journey is really working beyond product innovation, connecting, bringing technology into our R&D, working with startups, opening up innovation beyond the boundaries of Nestlé, and winning also in the digital shelf. So we've been very successful so far in our journey, those 3 dimensions, and for us it's really having an impact. If I had to check and if I have to share only one fact related to our journey, and I could share a lot of numbers related to the success, but the key one I believe is that after a couple of years of brand value decline on Nescafé, we're back on growth. And Interbrand, who's ranking value of the most valuable 100 brands every year, is now seeing that Nescafé is back on growth, both in value and in ranking. So we definitely see the impact of the work, and has been confirmed by Interbrand on the brand value. And it shows, you know, that by being active, creating those real connections in the digital world, you really build a brand, you really create shared value, and you really make an impact on the next, you know, 78 years of presence of Nescafé. Thank you very much. And it all starts with the Nescafé.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Michael. Well, on that note, we're going to open the floor for questions. So in case of any questions, please do raise your hands. We'll have the mics passed on to you. Do we have a question here from the 3rd row? Sir, do you have a question?
Hi. Michael, thank you very much. That's a really interesting presentation. I was taken by the fact that you're producing a library of over 500 assets. How much of those, what proportion of those assets are actually repurposable across the 60 different markets that you're sharing them with, given language and cultural differences?
So the 500 assets I was mentioning are actually the only assets which sits in the global content factory. So they're all being used, actually. So they're all being repurposed and used by more than those 60 markets. It's only 20% of all the things that we produce from Nescafé. So all those assets really travel across the world. The way we also generate repurposable content is that we have a sharing platform based on Salesforce Social Studio. And all the markets have access to that. They have their own room. They upload their local content into those rooms. It's visible to other markets. And so we can either share across markets, but also repurpose the local content that has a meaning and a potential at the global level, and then adapted it for the wider group of people. So I would say that platform is also helping us to even go beyond the 500 assets we've been creating in the past few years, to share even more. So all of them are being shared, 20% representation of the local market publishing, and then the other 80% are locally driven publishing, which is, I think, a good balance, because you don't want to go beyond 20 to 30%, because it has to be locally relevant. And specifically, coffee means different things in different worlds and different markets. So we believe, and we've seen, that 20 to 30% of globally led content is enough for us.
I have a question.
Sure.
I think the Face to Friends was a very apt campaign that you started in France.
Yes.
Just to get a sense of cost of acquisition, would you be able to share what kind of monies did you spend on that whole campaign?
I honestly don't know, because it's a local campaign, but it's been a key moment within France planning. So I think it's a good share of their marketing spend for a year. I think they have 2 main waves, and this was maybe half of their efforts for the year. Because it was not only activated in digital, but it was really an integrated campaign, which was also visible on TV, in promotion, in stores, in PR. So it was truly 360 activation of the campaign. So it's a sizable budget, but not from a production standpoint. Actually, the production was quite light, because it was all done in GoPros, and there were actually a very short production time, and about 30 different videos. But that was done in a little bit of a low-tech version, so not as produced as you would see in our TV production or TV spot production.
Yeah. So I basically had a question with regards to how this impacts your sales in these different markets. You basically showed us the stats of the likes, the amount of views, etc., etc.
Yes.
What impact did it have in terms of sales upliftment in these markets through these stores, and how were you able to measure that and attribute it to, these social campaigns?
So with most of our partners and Facebook in particular, we have global partnerships which allow us to show brand lift and other impact, and specifically on sales. And through the partnership that Facebook has with Nielsen, we also show the results on sales. So for each of those examples, Really Friends is public knowledge also as well. I encourage you to go on Facebook Creative Awards, and you see all the numbers. And in France in particular, it has a high impact on the brand image, the brand, not awareness, because the awareness of Nescafé is very, very high, but on brand consideration, trial, and all the way to purchase. So it has lifted all KPIs, basically.
We have room for one last question. Yes, sir.
Yep. Hey, thanks for a very interesting keynote.
Sure.
So the quick question I had, I think you briefly touched upon, you've been using social media listening.
Yes.
For a lot of the stuff that probably you're doing. Is there any particular example you want to share of how you've used social media listening for real-time marketing?
Yes, I think since we want to be there in real connections, we're using social listening on a daily basis. This is why I showed data-driven marketing, and this was one of the first things that we've done, is created that shared KPI framework, shared performance measurement framework across the globe, and social is really key, and we really start with that. So we also leverage Salesforce again for this through Radian 6, and we start with it. I think, again, the French campaign on Really Friends was really a good example of this. I think the Italian one was also a good example of this, where we source those kind of insights through social listening and really made it something bigger. And it's also very important in the continuation of the story, because we have a tendency to have peaks and to have campaign peaks, but social listening also helps you to kind of manage the long tail conversation and to try and level this up so that it doesn't go totally dark in between campaign peaks. So that was also, I would say, equally important in listening the impact the campaign had in people's life, and really leveraging this and amplifying the resonance it had in people's lives through user-generated content, as you saw examples within the French campaign.
Thanks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Let's have a huge round of applause to thank our first keynote speaker for AdTech 2016, Mr. Michael himself.